Buckle up, sports fanatics. This is the Sports Chasers Podcast, your HQ for in-depth sports talk. Join host Kevin L. Warren and crew as they dissect the hottest stories, ignite debates, and bring you closer to the action. From locker room whispers to expert takes, we cover it all. It's game time, so strap in and grab a drink. The Sports Chasers Podcast starts right now.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's happening, everybody? It's a Saturday morning. It's not Thursday morning. It's Saturday morning. The Sports Chasers Podcast is coming to you live, man. Live and direct. Hey, we're here to talk about WNBA basketball, man. That's right. You know, I got my Fever hat on. You know, number 22. You know, check it out. Wait, hold on. There you go. Got my Fever hat on. Ready? Let's talk about some WNBA basketball today, Saturday morning. Thank you for joining us today here on the Saturday morning. Before we jump into WNBA basketball, let's meet the crew. We got D-Dubs. What's up, brother? How are you today? D-Dubs? No? Okay, well, Ryan's on camera. Ryan, what's up, bro?
What's up, Kev? Saturday morning WNBA talk. It's a little bit different. I got my glasses on. You know what I'm saying? Had to give my eyes a rest from the contact lenses, so I got my nerd on, got my Urkel on, so let's do it.
The DA, what's up, brother? How are you today?
Yeah, man, I'm you know me. You know I ain't good for no early Saturday mornings, for no morning, so you know. I'm just I'm glad I rolled over and hit my head on the microphone, so we good.
Okay. The angry one, what's up, brother? How are you, man?
What's going on, gentlemen? Sports Chasers Saturday mornings.
Like Schoolhouse Rock, baby. Schoolhouse Rock. We're giving an education this morning.
That's right.
Boy,
Capes and all. Capes and all, boy.
You got that.
Capes and bright white lights. We love
bright white
lights for sure.
Yeah, y'all better stop playing.
What's that dude? Schoolhouse Rock, the action man verb. That's Kevin. With the action. Caitlin's in action. That's Kevin.
That's right. I got my hat on.
A verb is an action word. Kev's an action verb. That's you, brother.
Hey, glad to be here, man. Thanks for those that's checking us out here on the live. Thanks for all those on Facebook, Instagram. Where else we on? We're not on Twitch today. No Michael today or Dan. But hey, we're glad to be here. Before we came on the air, we was talking about the popularity of the WNBA, and we was kind of going through the history of how many teams, and it was some good talk. And I want to jump back in into before we start talking about the games. So the WNBA, I'll give it to Ryan. The WNBA began in what, 1996, Ryan? Was it 96 or 98?
I want to, yeah. 97, I believe. 97. And they began with 8 teams. I'll give it to Ryan. Go ahead, Ryan. So no, it began with the 8 teams that we're talking about, you know, expansion. We're diving into the expansion teams that's coming up in the next few years. But yeah, it started with 8. At one point, there was 13 teams until the Houston, the 4-time back-to-back champion with Cheryl Swoops, Tina Thompson, you know what I'm saying, and the crew, you know what I'm saying, Cynthia Cooper and the crew, you know what I'm saying, Kim Peratt and the crew, rest in peace, Kim Peratt. See, I'm taking y'all on a history lesson right now. You know what I'm saying?
Beautiful women of Houston.
Yes, sir.
There's some beautiful women. Yes.
The original big 3 of Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, and Tina Thompson. But yeah,
talk that talk, Ryan. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. So, but there was 13 teams at one point, and until the Houston Comets, the 4-time champions, dissolved. And but the rumors is they're trying to get them back. I hope so. I hope the owner of the Fertitta Group brings them back to Houston. The Houston Rockets just They just got a nice new facility, training facility. It has like a state of art training center and gym that could hold the WNBA game. So that would be awesome to get them back. But yeah, we were talking about that, Kev, about expansion teams, who's coming down the pipeline. We have the Golden State Valkyries coming next year. Then we have the Portland team and the Toronto team coming thereafter. So we're looking at roughly, there's 12 teams now. We're looking at almost 15 teams. Yeah, 15 teams by 2026, I believe. So yeah, it's exciting times for the WNBA. We already know yeah.
This is my question. It's not just you, it's to the panel and the WNBA, whoever's listening. What is your criteria for expansion, right? So my thing is you can't expand the team just because the male NBA team there is good, right?
No.
Because
no.
that's not a guarantee that people will come see the women's game, right? We've always joked about it over the years that women got to go first. Like you want men to represent you. The women have to be involved, which is why the Connecticut team does well, because the Connecticut college team does well, and women go watch the Connecticut women's play, right? They dig them, they have a history, all the rest of that, right? I think the WNBA
real quick, DA, to your point, and the Connecticut Sun team just sold out the Boston where the Celtics play. They just got finished selling that game out. So to your point, DA, that's a great point.
They're serious, and I'm saying that to say that we don't want to do things for failure, right? Like in my game, where I work at, you try not to do things twice, right? So you measure twice, cut once. So if you're going to open a team there, what is their criteria for saying, okay, we're going to go in Portland, and we know. And because it just can't be a Caitlin Clark thing. This is where I'm going, right? Because she's very popular now.
Right. Well,
she's a great player today. Got no problem with that. Not saying that she won't be a great player forever, right? But Caitlin gets injured for a year. She doesn't play, or she has a down year, whatever it is, right? Will they still be able to keep up that momentum?
Good point.
Even without her being the main attraction. You know what I'm saying? Right? So it was like, for instance, when the NBA had Michael Jordan went to go play baseball, they had already put themselves on a good enough foot to where when he was out, it didn't cost them seats. When he went to play baseball, it did not. That was a great litmus test for the NBA because the NBA did not fall when he was not playing.
Well, it didn't fall, but the ratings dropped. But it didn't fall.
Yeah, but people still come to games because remember there were other stars then. But at that point in time, you had you had Utah, right? You had Barkley and Phoenix. Seattle was doing well. Orlando was packing it out.
Right.
So I mean, you still had the Chicago Bulls. I mean, you still had Scottie Pippen and them boys and Kukoc. So when he left,
and the Knicks was still good.
Yeah,
right.
No,
And to your point, to answer your first question, your second question about can the league sustain if Caitlin Clark gets an injury? There's always been stars in the WNBA. Is there more eyes on the game now? Did she bring more eyes to the game? Yes, she has, no doubt about it. But let's not also be naive and not think that this expansion doesn't happen overnight or in 6 months or in a year. It takes like 5 years of research to build up to give an expansion team. I
understand. So it's a great deal of money.
So they do their due diligence on who they give the expansion team to answer your question. So
that's what I'm scared of. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, because look, man.
Right.
Casuals.
So,
E's favorite group, the casual fans, because you got a whole bunch of them today.
No, absolutely.
With Caitlin Clark, right? There's a bunch of people that are following the sport. Golly gee, I hate to say this. You got a bunch of people, and Kevin knows one that said it. They're not team fans, they're player fans. And that's a slippery slope, right? Because you got Caitlin fans. They don't care really much about Boston or the team. They care about what Caitlin's doing, right?
Okay.
And conversely, now check it out. I'm gonna finish, and then you go. And then conversely, for instance, just recently, and I found this to be ridiculous. If someone says something about the team doing well and don't mention her, then people actually take it as a slight. Right. So those are the casuals, and there's a bunch of them on the internet now. Yeah. They don't care about the WNBA per se. They care about Caitlin Clark.
Right.
So what happens to, because it's hard to keep them. And we talked about this in baseball, and a lot of other sports. Once the casual fans go away, what do you have left? Because they will go away. You'll win some over. You get a percentage of them that you win over. And then you're going to get a percentage of them that leave. So
that's what I was going to allude to. Okay, so with the casual fan, right? Okay, so the casual fan comes in, and what the NBA is hoping for with those casual fans who are just watching just to watch Caitlin Clark or the Angel Reese's, whoever you're watching for, whatever you're watching for, is to now, with the casual fans, put an eye on the Asia Wilsons, on the Stewies, you know what I'm saying? On the Alyssa Thomases, on the Napheesa Collier. So now they get to see, oh, damn, these girls can really hoop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't tune in. You know what I'm saying? I heard they can hoop, but I didn't tune in, or I was just, I didn't want to tune in because, oh, it's women's sports and it's the WNBA. I'm not watching it. It's not a good product. Oh, it is a good product. So what you're going to get, and to your point, DA, what you're going to get is you will lose some casual fans who just want to watch for Caitlin or Angel. You will lose some, but you will gain, I believe, more casual fans who will stay to see all these other great players, the Sabrina Ionescu's, the Jewel Lloyds. I mean, there's talent throughout the league, and big time talent. All right. So and again, to your point, I always call it the perfect storm. Everything was building up for the WNBA. They were already trying to get, chartered flights. They were already in position to get expansion teams. So it was just a perfect storm, the perfect alignment, and it's good for the game. And so to your point, to finish my point, yeah, you're gonna lose if Caitlin goes down. God forbid. If something was to happen to her or Angel, and those are the players that you're just tuning in to watch, I'm pretty sure we're going to keep most people than lose most of the people because of all the other great women that are in the game and all the great rivalries that are in the game now. So the good thing is we have the eyes on it. Cool. Hopefully we keep most of those people if something was to happen. So, am I for 100% sure that I'm correct? And no, I'm not. But at least they're watching, and at least, even with you guys, you'd be like, damn, these girls are hooping. You know what I'm saying? When I came on 2 years ago, I wanted to talk WNBA. It was like, okay, all right, we'll do it. But now, but now you guys tune in and you guys see all the other great players, right?
Absolutely.
That you haven't watched. Like, no. So, right. You know what I'm saying? So the good thing is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys, just a case study with the sports chasers for a case study. Hell, you guys have come around. Kevin's watching all the games. So you know what I'm saying? So
Kevin got a red cape on. We ain't talking about him.
But what I'm saying though, every time we talking about WNBA, Kevin's like, oh yeah, I'm tuned in, I'm watching the other game, and it's not just the fever game.
Yeah, what? Caitlin? What? Caitlin?
Yeah.
But
so
in all seriousness, because DA is joking, of course. Yes, I watch I'm tuned in to the Asia Wilsons. What's her last name? Collier for Minnesota. Oh my God, right. She is
a baller.
She's a baller, bro. Okay, she broke their will in the third quarter. Go ahead. Go ahead, D.
This is my last question then, man, on that score. Because what I don't see is this. in this. I want it to succeed, and I'm with you.
100%.
I think the WNBA really has to go hard, like right now. Like not even with the WNBA players. Something that the NBA doesn't do is to partner with the NCAA on a juju, because she's next. She is
coming.
her.
She's coming.
She's coming. She's got McDonald's commercials, right? Yep. So she's already out there getting money. The WNBA has to figure out a way to capitalize on these girls coming in and ensure that the world knows who they are prior to them getting there. Because again, if you get 10 more casual fans, then by ratio, you'll keep 4 maybe real fans out of the 10 casuals that you get, and that's just by percentage. That's all I was thinking. Like, Juju, these other young ladies that are coming into the WNBA, ensuring that they're never going to get the Caitlyn thing, because that's a fan perspective of who they want to follow like that. But these people got to know, they got to push the NCAA game going forward. The WNBA has to actively push the NCAA women's season. Have to.
Not only that.
But that's it. I mean, how do you? I mean, like, okay, for your juju take, right? For your juju take, she's not going to be in the league for another 3 years. So you know what I'm saying? Because remember, they're not one and dones, or they can come out whenever they want. No, you have to be a senior or played 4 years to come out and go to the WNBA. So we're not going to see Juju for another 3 years. So and I don't know how to.
But the pipeline is good though, Ryan.
The
pipeline is good because
it's great. It's great because now you're gonna have Paige. You're gonna have Paige coming. You're gonna have, you know what I'm saying. So and the Gago from Notre Dame is coming, but she was a freshman last year too, so she's got another 3 years to go. So you got
Not only that, I mean, there's this Asian chick, young lady over there overseas. I don't know how they go get their hands on her, but she's 7'5". She's 17 years old, I think now, or at the time of the video that I seen. She's 7'5". A dominating force. If they get their hands on her and bring her to the WNBA, that's another, that's definitely be a growth spurt for the WNBA. But go ahead.
And we've seen that already, D-Dubs, in the WNBA with Liz Cambage from Australia.
Okay.
She was killing the league. I mean, she was like the number 1 or number 2 pick, and so we've seen that before. Listen, talent are always gonna want to play in the best league. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if the money is not as good as playing overseas, they're still going to come here and go into the WNBA. But to your point, DA, I don't know how the WNBA can actually start. What's the word I'm looking? Marketing an NCAA player when they're not even in the league yet. It's
gonna be hard.
It's maybe like you said, do a partnership with the NCAA, but that's kind of hard too. But maybe not now because of the NIL deals and all that stuff. So maybe it's a little bit easier to do in today's sports landscape. So yeah, that's a good point, DA. But yeah, so
I think what's really going to do it is the money. If that's why, again, when I say embrace the young lady, these young stars now. So the money's coming. I'm sorry, guys. This is just how it works. You may not get, if you've been in the union, old heads, you might miss the boat. You might not get the money. And that's just what happens, because as we grow, the next generation comes in, they they get the benefits off the backs of you. Yes, that's just how it is, man. I'm sorry. That's just how it is.
All right. But that also doesn't mean that you can't be salty about it. Because I'll be salty.
Hey man, you could be. But listen, you could be salty all you want, but what is it going to change? You're just going you're going to die salty. That's all you go. You will die salty.
Well, no,
I get it. I understand. I know. I get it. I understand that you know some of these people, these players will be mad. They was mad back in the day too. It's just part of the game. You know, I'm sorry.
It's a human trait.
Yeah,
it's just a human trait.
I know.
Like,
I know the guys. I know the guys are mad that these guys are mad. Look at Shaq when he be going off on some of these centers, man. He be talking. I know he said, man, y'all getting all this money and y'all ain't doing nothing.
Right.
Y'all not.
And not only that too, D-Dubs. Look at all the athletes from back in the days. Like, man, I wish my parents would have had me a little bit later so I can get all this money. So it's just a timing thing. Just like how we talked about with DA with the contracts in the NFL. How about it's always a timing thing. Yeah, like somebody reset. Somebody resetting the market. I'll play with you. Yeah, somebody somebody resetting the market. So yeah. So it's
Jalen Ramsey just did it. So
just did it, and it's gonna always happen.
Just did it. So yeah,
and it's always gonna happen.
I'm gonna just chime in real quick. What DA said, I think that what the WNBA needs to do is not so much market the NCAA. They need to market their own teams. You did a cleanup. You have it to where you don't have talent just dying on one team because you don't have so many teams or whatever. You just need to market the teams and what you have now. Correct. There is an explosion of eyeballs on not only your game, but the women's NCAA game. So it's going to just be a natural process, right, in my opinion. All you have to do is market what you have now and make sure that you market it correctly. That's going to be the tricky thing because the WNBA hasn't always done that. But I think they've learned from their past progression. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. But I think they're in a healthy state right now, and as long as they don't fumble the bag, they should be fine, man.
Right, and also the NCAA kind of already does this for the with the NBA and WNBA. They're always going to put their stars, you know what I'm saying, on the players who are on the best programs. And I mean, let's be honest, all the top players are normally on the best programs, whether it's your UConns, your South Carolinas, now your USCs with Juju, your Notre Dames, Enrique came from Notre Dame, Mabry came from Notre Dame. They beat Connecticut together on the same team to beat the powerhouse Connecticut Huskies. So it's the best marketing tool for incoming rookies in the league is the NCAA tournament. And now that this was the first year in women's NCAA tournament where they were allowed to use March Madness. So now that's another marketing tool that's going to help the domino effect of girls coming in and the popularity of the sport.
Was crazy. When I heard that, I was like, man, the women wasn't allowed to use that. Wow.
No, it was just Final Four. They could never use March Madness until now. Last year was the first year.
Yeah,
I'll say this. I'll step in and say this, man. I think it's been very great, very healthy. Like I said, DA jokes around that I have my Caitlin Clark cape on. I do. I appreciate.
And she's awesome.
And she's awesome. She's awesome. But I'm the type of I'm not your Matt as E always says, the casuals. No, I've been on record saying that I have checked out of the WNBA. I watched that first. I'll never forget me and D-Dubs was watching the Liberty when we was still living in New York, and what's his name? Teresa Witherspoon made that half court shot in the playoffs. Yeah. I'll never forget that, man. And then somehow it waned off in the mid 2000s. I stopped watching, and now I'm back. And like I said, I'm one of those 4 out of 10, like DA says. I'm here to stay because of you see the other players, you see the other ladies doing their things, and like Kelsey Mitchell. How can we forget about her, man? You know what I'm saying? Just she's a bucket, man. We talked
about the other one. What's Plum? What's her name? She balled out last night.
Kelsey Plum for the Aces. The Aces. Yeah, because they were down. Connecticut had like a double. She
brought them girls all the way back, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that said, the reason why I was saying that is this, right? Because one day I guess we'll really get to talk about the what, why, and where of the WNBA, right? So they're really starting to market it a lot differently. what the young ladies are wearing to the games. They're showing that, walking into the locker room. That has to start with people falling into that stuff early. Yeah. That's why I said with the NCAA, because that's your first exposure to these young ladies. And it used to be like that. It used to be like that in the NBA back in the days, where you knew who Patrick Ewing was. Akeem Olajuwon, you knew who these dudes were before they got to the league.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about. And don't think for a second, though they didn't say it, do not believe for 1 second the NBA was not behind Patrick Ewing and Michael Jordan playing in the championship game and the ratings. And then Georgetown against this one. So the NBA had a vested interest in ensuring that there was a generation of players that would come in after Magic and after Bird. Because their game was in 1979. And that was the biggest grossing game at the time was Indiana State against Michigan State, right? For the national championship. Everybody was on it. Biggest thing. That game probably grossed more than any NBA game as far as people watching that year. So it gave people an introduction into guys that were coming into the league and doing some things. So people knew who Magic Johnson was before he got to the league. And that's the same thing they have to do here. That's all I was saying. They have to figure out a way to get on top of this. Yeah. It can't be reactionary. You got to be up front. Like, we know what's happening. We know who's coming, and this is how we're going to market them. Because without that type of plan, you're not going to win long term. You have to have a plan to win long term.
Right.
So and I think that's probably what hindered them when they first started the league, why they had to lose teams and drop teams, because they didn't have a plan.
Right.
And I think they leaned on some of the
NBA money.
Right, at the time.
Well, because they were starting up.
Right. Got
so
you.
You kind of had to. So remember now, the league is still relatively a young league. You know what I mean? It's still young. What we're talking about? What? How many years? 97, 96? What we talking about?
So almost 40 years now, right?
No, 30 years.
Yeah. So
you know what I'm saying? So it's growing pains. They kind of had to lean on the because remember, the NBA started the WNBA.
Correct.
It was Stern and other folks who were the masterminds behind it. Because Stern was all about, going international, you know what I'm saying? So they had to get the backing of the league. Because remember, there was 2 to 3 other leagues, women's basketball leagues that tried and failed. There was even some leagues that the girls were wearing like sexy outfits, like leotards or some shit like that. Like, no, right. I forget the league's name, and they were trying.
Are you talking about that lingerie football league? Is that what we talking about?
No, not that. No, it wasn't that risque. It wasn't that risque. But just to my point, there were 2 other leagues that tried and failed. So for the WNBA to be sitting here right now, man, it's a great accomplishment, and they're only going to get better. And like I said, perfect storm with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and Cardoso and all the rookies and the Cameron Brinks. It was the Rakia Jacksons. All those rookies are playing great basketball. So them coming in and like Caitlin struggled off top. And they were, and everybody was talking, and then they caught fire, and then Angel was getting her double doubles and things of that nature. So then you had the struggle, and now you have where they're taking off as the rookie class. So that's good. So that's going to bring more passion.
I also think you're always going to have the Caitlin problem every year, because the NCAA tournament is going to end when it ends, and then the NBA season is going to start when it starts. Those girls
that's good though. But that's a good thing.
I'm saying, but those girls are going to be tired every year coming from the NCAA going straight to the WNBA, and they're not going to get a 4-week break for the Olympics every year.
Right.
So the success of those girls, again, like any athlete, physically, they're going to be tore up because you just came from playing the NCAA tournament, right? Whatever bumps and bruises you got from that. 1 month later, the WNBA season starts, and now it's a whole new doggone thing.
Right.
And
so do you think they will reschedule or because
they're not reschedule. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, could that be an option because of the way everything is, and you might want to, give your players some rest and try to,
Or in the words of the angry one, hold on, let me get this in the words of the angry one. That this totally depends on your coach, kind of putting them on the.
I was about to say that, but thank you, Kevin.
So,
right, Well, to answer your question, they can't push the
can't move the season.
They can't move the season because now they're going to be competing with NFL. And they're in a prime spot where they're in the summer basically by themselves in baseball. They're in a prime spot. And to your point, DA, yes, it's going to be harder in the upcoming years because it's not going to be an Olympic year where you get that break. But it's good for the WNBA. Whereas we got the hot. We can build off the NCAA, the March Madness, and go right into the season. So now there's no lull, and then we lose the people who are like, oh my God, when does the league start? Okay, but now you jump right into it because you have the Final Four, the championship. A week later, you got the draft, and then 3 weeks later, you got playing games. So it's just a nice domino effect to jump right in the season where you don't lose any momentum. So I think they're in a great spot. Yeah,
I think the league is in a great place for what they do. But what I was saying was the physical toll on the young ladies.
Oh, it's going to be there, no doubt.
Yeah. So because like I tell Kevin, me and him talk about this in anything in life, man. Without expectations, there's no disappointment, right? So because of the expectation of something, because you just finished playing, I just saw she's nice. Then you get to the WNBA and 10, 15 games in, especially if you're adding games to the season, that girl is going to be tired. And her performance is not going to be what you want. And like you say, Ian, Kev, it's up to the coach. But remember, the worst teams get the best draft picks. So those girls are going to go somewhere where they are needed to play right away because they suck. Like they needed Caitlin to play, man. Regardless of what happens, they needed her to play.
That's true, but not all of them. All of them are coming out. It's not going to be Caitlin Clark's.
No, not at all. That's that's the original point I was making. That how do you keep it going, right? The partnership with the NCAA. That's what I was kind of getting at. Okay, I'm sorry.
I was just saying, just like we were saying about coaching. I mean, being that the population is where it's at, with just the 12 teams. Unless you're a Caitlin Clark or one of these dominant players, you may go to 9 times out of 10 you're going to go to a team that sucks. But top 5, I mean, hell, you may go to a Chicago where you may not be needed the first 5 games to score 20, 30 points or whatever it is your expertise is. You can gradually come along. Even you still going to have bumps and bruises, and yes, you're going to have to understand the game, the differences between the NCAA and the WNBA. But at the same time, you shouldn't be thrusted into the fire because of where the league is right now versus where they're coming from in the college game. That's all I was saying about the coaching part.
Also, I can play devil's advocate with the schedule as well too, of them being tired. Now you kind of sort of got a built-in excuse, right? Like, they're not playing well because they're getting used to the game. They're getting because that's what the excuse was for Caitlin, right? And then with the Fever, remember out the gate, they had the toughest schedule out the gate.
They did.
I want to believe that was done for a reason. A lot of people were saying, no, give her why they give her such a hard schedule? Because now you had a built-in excuse. So if she struggled. You had a built-in excuse if she struggled, and if she did not struggle, now you be like, oh shit, now damn, So she had the hardest schedule. Because remember, they played Connecticut and and New York the first 4 games back to back, right? And got blitzed, and Caitlin struggled. But you had that built-in excuse. She's tired. She's been playing for so long. She has to get used to the game. And now look what happened, right? So you had that built-in, you had that built-in excuse. But now, after they had the break, like you said, DA, they won't have the break every year, the Olympic break. But now, because they had such a tough schedule, now the schedule eased up on them, and now the fever took off. I can make a point where maybe that was planned.
Yeah, well, I think it's the good thing that they have with only 12 teams. I'm not sure they do like everybody else does right now, where you have to put your schedule out there 3 years in advance, whatever years in advance. I think with the WNBA schedule, as stated, they're able to kind of move things around based upon, what's up next, right? How can we capitalize on what we're doing?
Yeah, it's a fluid thing. It goes by yearly. The schedule are done yearly. That's why you can have your Christmas games and all this stuff and pinpoint who you want based on what happened in the prior season.
Well, they are considering like I think we talked about earlier, expanding the regular season to 44 games in 2025. So
it'll be a 4-game increase.
Let me ask you a question. That this break is just they had that break. And it only happened because of the Olympics. Do they?
Olympics.
I can't recall them having a break during.
No,
right?
No, they just have an All-Star break.
Correct.
Which is a week.
Is that part? I mean, is that? I'm just saying she got that break, and it seemed like the team did better after they got that rest, and then it seemed like they took off after they got back.
No, for sure, but
they're not going to have that.
No.
Next time around. So, but I mean, this is a different year, so it'd be a different year. So
it's a different, and you can't say, well, let's just have a month break every year,
right?
Because there's no Olympics. What you going to show for that?
No, we're not going to do that. Right.
So
we're going to give it all the no. We're not going to give you a break.
It's just the All-Star break, and WNBA got it right on this one. They said, people said the WNBA dropping the ball on certain things. Well, hell, they just put the All-Star game in Indiana next year. So it's a learning curve.
Definitely a learning curve.
I think they're trying to get it right. So
yeah, of course, man.
Yeah. Let's move into the games. On this past week. I'll give it to Ryan. Ryan, what games you want to go over? I guess we'll start with the game last night between the Fever and Minnesota. Which listen, I watched that, and man, oh man. Minnesota, man. Colin, Ryan said a couple weeks ago they're the best team in the league, bro. Go ahead, Ryan.
I think they're the best team in the league. To be honest with you, I think they have the second best player in the league in Napheesa Collier behind A'ja Wilson. She's probably going to be number 2 in the MVP rankings, and so I love their team. They can play physical. They can slow it down. They can play in transition. So I love what the Lynx are doing, and it's that's the beauty of the WNBA, right? Like the Lynx were like one of the bottom teams last year. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, bam! They just you make a couple of trades here and there, and like all you guys said, there's 12 teams. So most of these teams are loaded. It's just you just got to find your playing style, and you have to play the way you can play to win ball games, and that's what Minnesota's doing. They look good, and shout out to Indiana, because Indiana had them on the ropes last night.
In Indiana up until that third quarter, and third quarter they got I don't know what happened. They got cold. They only scored 12 points in that third quarter, so that was kind of they shot themselves in the foot there.
4 minutes change, they went without scoring a bucket.
Yeah, so definitely. They was outscored 29-12 in that third quarter. So,
right, and well, I'm looking at the box score now. Indiana, they had 3 players, with 20 points. Aaliyah Boston had 20. Kelsey Mitchell had 23. Caitlin had 25. But then you have the balance of Minnesota's team, right?
Oh no, Ryan. Hold on.
What's scary about them.
She had 25 and 1 block. Put that block. Put some
guys. Please add the one block
on her name, please. She got 1 block. Kevin, where's your cape at? Kev, where's the cape?
You're not mentioning that block with disrespectful to Caitlin Clark.
Disrespectful.
Right.
Hey, I'm gonna put some respect on her name. Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
Right. No, but
go ahead, Ryan. I thought you was going to say that how Minnesota's. You talked about their
depth,
and their bench. That's what came off.
Correct. Right. Yeah. Because what you had Collier with 26, Carlton with 16, Courtney Williams with 15. Alana Smith with 13, and then you had 3 other players who almost had 10 points. Mm-hmm. So you could have had 8 people in double figures. That's how good they are, man. So, and like I said, they can play any style of basketball you want. You want to play an up-tempo game? Cool, let's do that. You want to muck it up in the paint? Cool, let's do that. You want to play a half-court game? Let's do that. You want to have a defensive battle? Let's do that. So I love Minnesota, what Minnesota's doing. And if I'm not mistaken, they just moved up in the standings to number 2 with that victory last night because Connecticut lost. Yeah. So now the 3-6 matchup, which it seems like the Fever kind of struggles with Minnesota because it's like, you know, I want to say they haven't beaten them yet because Minnesota beat them last time right out when the Fever was hot. Minnesota beat them
coming back out.
Coming back out. And so
this is the second game from the
right. So the standings, Minnesota is now number 2. Connecticut is 3. So Indiana, the Fever would play Connecticut if the season was to end today. So now they wouldn't have to play Minnesota. So I think Minnesota, I think they're gonna win the championship, man. I really believe Minnesota is gonna win the championship.
Wow.
I think they're the deepest team in the league. And they have a go-to player, superstar, who's not on Asia's level right now, but she's almost there. She's that good. Napheesa Collier is that good. She can take over a game like she took over the third quarter, like you said, Kevin. She's that good. So but I gotta say, and I gotta eat my words, and I gotta give Dan props. The Fever are a contender. They are a contender if they don't get Minnesota in that first round matchup. But you know, basketball is you know, it's a game.
It's all about the matchups.
It's all about the matchup, man. It's a game.
Matchups,
it's a game of matchups. It looked like they struggle a little bit with the versatility of Minnesota. So
they're not a Swiss Army knife like Minnesota, like you was talking about.
Right. Like I think Indiana can beat Seattle. I think Indiana can beat Phoenix in a situation. It might be tough against Connecticut, but I wouldn't count them out against Connecticut. I don't think they can beat the Aces, Minnesota or the Liberty right now. But it's all about the draw. You get a good draw, and then you never know. But they are contenders, man. You can't deny them that they're playing that well with their contenders.
Hey, that Chicago Sky, they still can make the playoffs. They AC
with Atlanta.
Yes.
Right now.
Yeah, they're tied with Atlanta right now because Atlanta also
12-22, and Chicago's 12-22. Chicago won last night.
And Atlanta won last night. So they're
battling for that 8th spot. Okay.
They have identical records, and not only that, Washington is right there. They're only a game
behind them. Yeah.
They're only a game back, and then and Dallas is only 3 games back. So you know, I think it's probably a week and a half left, 2 weeks left into the season. So it's going to be interesting to see if Chicago can hold on. But like I said, like we said before, with Chicago making that trade when they traded Mabry,
right?
You know what I'm saying? It was a move for the future, but if it'll be icing on the cake if they can still make the playoffs, and because they knew they weren't going anywhere, but it still would be a good story for them to make the playoffs. With Angel's first year, Camilla's first year, so that you can't beat experience, man. Playoff experience. So that'd be good. That'd be good for them. So I'm rooting for. I like Atlanta too, though. I mean, Atlanta, Chicago.
The dream.
I'm gonna tip my cap to Atlanta and say they're gonna actually pass Chicago, because like we said, Chicago does struggle offensively, but they did get Candy Carter back, and
Candy Carter, she was balling last night,
man,
bro.
she's a hooper, bro. She's a hooper.
Yeah,
she's something else, man. She's a spunky, feisty.
Oh yeah, no, she's
something else, man.
Nah, she doesn't back down, man. She doesn't back down. Yeah.
No, but you guys, September 19th is the regular season. Regular season ends and playoffs starts September 22nd. So we got roughly 2 weeks before we start seeing playoff basketball with the WNBA.
Right. Yeah, because Candy Carter almost had a triple-double last night. You know what I mean? So, and she's coming off COVID. She was on a slight minutes restriction a little bit. No, she played like 30 minutes. So they said she was on a minute restriction, but they had to win that game. So they play. Yeah, you saw her on the bench and she was coughing and stuff like that. You know, but no, she's hooping, man.
Shout out to her, man. Shout out to her.
Yeah. You
know,
so
hey, special shout out to my mom. She's watching this morning. Special shout out to my cousin Cindy, who is a athlete at Virginia Tech.
Nice.
Shout out to my cousin Cindy for doing that. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah. No. So, the standings are tight. You know, teams are jockeying for position. So it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. So it's a big win by Chicago last night. Big win for the Dream last night. So they're battling their identical records, man. So we'll see the matchup. I have to look at the schedule and see if they play each other head to head.
Oh, no, I got it for you.
Nice.
Yeah, Minnesota. Well, the Dream plays Indiana Sunday. Sundays are a slate of games. It's jam packed. Yeah. So when you talk about football, football. Yeah. I don't think. Listen, I was just throwing it out there. Maybe they could, adjust schedules, whatever. If they don't, that's cool too. But I don't think we have to compete with football. Football's in their own lane. Football is going to be what it is. But so you got Atlanta playing the Indiana tomorrow at 4:00. You got Minnesota playing Washington at 3:00. The Aces play New York, Liberty at 4:00. Dallas plays Chicago tomorrow, 6:00, and Connecticut at the Sparks. And Connecticut should get that win. Sparks is, they already eliminated from the competition as far as playoffs anyway. Right. And that's at 9:00. So a full slate of games tomorrow, Sunday. Nice, so that's along with the NFL. Guys, I mean, it's going to be a lot of
guys
flipping back and forth, a lot of other TVs in the room. I'm telling you, man, the WNBA has been on point. So, hey, pick one. Pick what you want. What you want to watch.
It is football weekend. The full slate of football this weekend. The NFL's back in form. The NFL played on Thursday night. Played last night in Brazil. So make sure you check out the NFL. And like we was talking about this morning, hey, the WNBA, good job. I'm tapped in. I'm dialed in to check out the WNBA. Before we get out of here, we're giving partner shots. Before we get out of here, if Ryan didn't have anything else, I'm sorry, Ryan. Did you have anything else?
Good, man. Good. We tackled the schedule. D-Dubs gave the schedule out. 2 weeks left in the regular season. The standings are tight. And it's gonna be an awesome playoffs, man. It's gonna be an awesome playoffs. Just having, the new blood, because Indiana hasn't made the playoffs in years, man. Just to have them back in there with Caitlin and Kelsey Mitchell and Leah Boston. That's gonna be awesome. Go ahead, DA.
$5. Go ahead and send me that $5.
You muted, sir.
Yeah, my bad. Yo, before we go,
yes, sir.
Because we got to do this because this is our segment from last year. Once we finish with the basketball, we'd like to go over the games for the day, and I'll let you know where you can go shopping at, when you can do the yard with, and what games you need to watch. All right, because there's some games today that go to Home Depot, you go to Lowe's, go get some food. And then there's a few games where you could be home and actually watch the game. So Go ahead, Ryan, because I got my list. So
No. I'm good, brother. You good? I'm good.
Yeah, go ahead. If those didn't know, DA was kind of riddled me this. When he had to do the college games on Saturday, we be like, hey, either you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, or you actually stay and watch the game. So I'll give the DA. Go ahead, DA. What you got, bro?
Oh, hey, you aerating your yard?
Yeah. Well, we don't. Yeah. We a little early in North Carolina aerate, but at 12 o'clock I will be home to watch the Texas-Michigan game.
Oh yeah, right? Davis Warren.
Yeah, you gotta watch that. Penn State, Bowling Green, nah. Oklahoma State, Arkansas, nah. Go out. Go do what your wife says. Go take care of whatever you need to take care of. Get it all done at that point in time because you got a break today. I mean, I wouldn't turn the TV back on until tonight. You know, when we'd be looking at 7, 8 o'clock, man. You ain't nothing else you can watch. You can watch Clemson against App State, or I mean, what else you got? Miami gonna beat up on Florida A&M. They might kill them kids out there. They might kill them.
Being that it's in my backyard, my backyard, I'm gonna go ahead and shout out Tennessee versus NC State, right here in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah, that is gonna be 7:30. I'll be home for that one.
Yeah,
right.
Nebraska, Colorado should be a good one with all the trash talking that was going on. That should be
absolutely.
But, listen, if I got a choice, I'm going to the store on Colorado, Nebraska, and watching NC State, Tennessee, right? Yeah. Because I only watch one game at a time. So I got a disease. I can't turn back like that. Now, if you got a second, you might want to watch Dabo lose his job against App State.
He got a disease.
Yeah, I can't turn the channel. You might want to watch Dabo lose his job against App State, because if that game is within 10 points, they sending the truck to Dabo's house. And they want him and his
Hey, let me tell you something about App State. If you know anything about App State,
that's what they do. App State is
upstate machine. Shout out to Andrew 1970 Abel for chiming in. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Go orange, Syracuse. But
hey, you don't have to watch it. It should be a good game.
DA, you mentioned the U playing FAMU. You mentioned Miami playing FAMU. I want to shout out FAMU though, man. Last year they won they were the champions for the HBCU teams. They won the championship. So they're going to lose and probably lose by a lot. But they can ball. But they can play some ball. They can play some ball down there, man. So,
I actually went last year to the Orange Bowl Classic.
Did you?
Right.
Yeah, when they played Jackson State, because Sebastian is So we went there and they won. So good game, but they're gonna get killed today. But hey, they play good. Like you said, they absolutely should win their conference. Go ahead, D-Dubs.
Special shout out to UNC Charlotte. They go down to UNC North Carolina and play Chapel Hill. So
that I ain't working today.
Hey, bro, after what I seen last week,
God bless you. I hope y'all working.
Yeah. After what I seen last week, my God, this should be easy.
Yeah, Daryl's not doing security for them no more. He's gonna start wheeling them kids out to the field.
No, sir.
Next week, Daryl be helping them. All right, all the players with broken legs to the right. All players in the wheelchair. We're gonna ramp you guys down to the field and let you guys, because.
Shout out to my man, Coach Biff, man. He's supposed to. He told me, man. He was.
Shout out to Coach.
Thought he was gonna have something different, man. But it looked like the same old.
Hey, L is an L, man.
Yeah, he was not happy. He was not happy with UNC Charlotte, and hey, better times is coming.
Something different. What the hell was he thinking? Is he smoking crack?
Hey,
he ain't gonna have nothing different over there.
Hey, bro, he's self-made, man. He's self-made, man.
No, he is. He better self-made some money.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
He got to
pay
to play, baby.
Yeah, you got to open up the pocketbooks and find some players.
Madison came to Charlotte and put the beat down on UNC Charlotte.
James Madison is a good team. I think they're the number one. Well, at least they were.
100%.
Oh yeah,
one of the best.
They're a tough team, man.
Good program. Good program. James Madison out of Southwestern
Virginia.
Yeah. Right outside of Roanoke. James Madison.
Yeah, I don't want to go too much further because we 4 minutes over, but those are the games you guys should watch. And to Kevin's point, man, real quick, this is for folks that don't watch and really want to get into football. So FAMU may be the best HBCU, right, that we have in the country, and they play Florida. Just watch the game and you'll understand that there's levels to this. So expectations bring disappointment.
Absolutely.
Lower your expectations, manage your expectations. Manage your expectations, watch the games and have fun for what they are, right? Because not everybody's going to be Alabama. Not everybody's going to be this one. Just love your team. Love on them as much as you want. Support them the way you support. You know, my boy, App State dude, he drove down to Clemson. I said, don't wear your App State shirt while you're in Clemson. I don't care where you sit. Just, you know, if you cheering your team, do it on the low. On the low. Like if they score, say, yay. And be quiet. Because them people in Clemson are crazy. Right? And I don't want my boy to get jumped. He's a good dude. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris. Peace.
Yeah. Also, can I give a quick shout out before we go? Michelle wanted me to ask all the Giants fans. She's a diehard Giant fan. She wanted me to ask the Giants fans, how did y'all feel seeing Saquon go off like that?
Can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I'll answer that.
Yeah.
Yo, Ryan, I've been a proponent, and I think DA, Kev, E already know. I said that we was never supposed to draft Saquon. That's a Dave Gettleman blunder mistake. We should never have drafted that boy. That boy should have been whatever. But that's what Saquon's supposed to do. That's what we know he could do. If you have an offensive line, that boy, he did what he's supposed to do. He caught 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns and caught one.
And one reception.
And one reception. I don't expect nothing less for Saquon. I'm just sorry that it didn't happen for him and with the Giants. Because that's what we were supposed to have for him. An offensive line so he could get through and do his magic. And it just so happened to happen, 6-7 years too late.
7 years. No, he had one good year with them. So
he maybe had 2 good years with the Giants.
Yeah.
And then injury plays. Shout out to I have nothing but love for Saquon Barkley. It's just the fact that he's doing it with the Eagles. It hurts me. Yes, it does bother me because it's with the Eagles. I was rooting for the Eagles to lose, even though I picked them to win the game. But I was, it's just it's football, man. It's football. It is what it is. But yeah, it sucked, man, because he's a talent, man. He's a talent, bro. You can't, and this is objectively speaking. You can't. The Philadelphia Eagles should do a lot with that, and even with Hurts not having a great game at all. I don't know what was wrong with him last night. He,
he's okay.
Bad decision making. A lot of decision makings was off.
Well, yeah, 2
I would say that.
Was it 2? 2 interceptions?
Yeah, 2.
And a fumble. I think he fumbled.
So
well, that's the center.
Yeah, I'm not gonna blame him on that one, but yeah, I got you.
Oh, okay, that was him. Yeah. I didn't have Peacock, dog. I didn't watch the game.
Yo, shout out. Yo, you know what? NFL, Kevin, I'm gonna leave you on this. Man. NFL, y'all gonna stop this. This
it's horrible.
You got people looking for Peacock and paying a subscription.
This is bullshit.
This is ridiculous. This is crazy. I have my man talk about, I can't find the game. I said, I'm sorry, bro. It's on Peacock, bro.
I mean, I'm at a sports bar. The sports bar can't get the
sports bar don't even got Peacock.
They didn't. I mean, they wouldn't even put it on Peacock where you didn't have to get it because you can get Peacock and watch stuff on Peacock, but they wanted you to get a subscription.
Yeah, NFL, I'm not doing it.
Y'all
cut it out,
money.
man.
Y'all got enough money. Stop with this bullshit. I'm sorry.
Bro, it's crazy. But
put it on Amazon Prime or whatever. I'm cool with that. But
no, I don't want it. Cap, I don't want it on none of these damn streams.
That's right, Ryan. Say it. Yeah, that's right.
Listen,
it should be on. It's an American sport. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
I'm paying an arm and a leg just to have some cable, and then I gotta. Do you want me to cancel?
I got you.
Yeah, you want me to cancel my cable just so I can start streaming stuff?
Ryan, cancel them.
Yeah, but by the time I pay for all the goddamn streaming sites, I'm already paying what I was paying for the damn cable.
Facts.
It's ridiculous.
Yo, for real, y'all. You know what I thought Darryl was going to say?
Yo,
you know what I thought Darryl was. Hey, Kev, you know what I thought Darryl was going to say?
Yeah, no, don't say it.
No, he's going to say, yo, well, the Giants need to tank anyway. I'm like, yo, every year. He's like, yo, we should be tanking. Game 1D. yeah, we can tank.
Yo, shout at me tomorrow after we see. I'll let you know what we should do after tomoror. Go ahead.
He said, Shador is coming. Number one.
Yeah. As a Giant fan, I concur with D-Dubs. We should have Dave Gettleman. That was an ego choice by him. We should have been building the offensive line. You know, you're supposed to build, football team. I'm only playing on high school level, from within to out, right? You know, you don't get the inside out, right? And I will predict against the 2 games against the Giants this year, he will have one of those games. He'll have 200 yards rushing. You watch.
700 yards a game against Show. 7,000 yards a game.
Yo, just to real quick, just to let you know, if that field wasn't such a trash field last night, he probably could have had 200 yards last night.
Yeah.
Nope.
That was a trash field last night. And Brazil, what?
Nope.
They play.
Is it me? Hold on. Can I just say something? Was it me?
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny when I say this. I know Brazil is big on soccer, and maybe DA could chime on this. But was it me, or was they more cheering for damn field goals and shit more so than anything else that went on last night?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I was okay. Right.
Good observation. I didn't even peep that, but go ahead.
And mind you, of course, I don't have Peacock either. I just seen that in the highlights. I was like, why is there so much rooting for field goals on this all day in Brazil? Oh my bad.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Man, great show this morning, man. We need to do more of these. This is pretty cool. Thanks for all those that chimed in this morning. We talked some WNBA. DA had his whether you need the air raid or go to Lowe's or Home Depot or Costco to go instead of watching some of these college football games. Man, listen, it's a beautiful weekend in the Northeast, Southeast, wherever you're at, Middle Atlantic, wherever you're at in the United States, man. Enjoy sports like D-Dub said earlier, man. You got the WNBA. Nobody has to compete with one another. Hey, you just do a lot of channel flipping. That's all. And hopefully the games are not on Peacock.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So let me get a party shout out. Start with the DA. DA, what you got for us today, bro?
You know me. Don't do drugs.
Yeah, don't do drugs. Thank you, DA. The angry one, what you got for us, bro?
Yo, man, great show, man. I'm glad I made it. Saturday morning check-in. Shout out to Toxic Dan. You know that. Yo, man, great show. Great to see everybody, man. Yo, just real quick. Yo, ECU is at Old Dominion. If you don't know where Old Dominion is, they're in Norfolk, Virginia. Game time, 6 p.m. You know, I got to shout out my Pirate Day in my backyard, too, man. I got to shout out all these North Carolina teams, man. App State, UNC, NC State. I ain't checking for Duke, sorry. And
they play Thursday night or Friday night.
Okay, yeah, they don't.
They won already.
Everybody else in the area is playing, man. So y'all go get your sports in today, man. Be safe.
Tennessee in North Carolina State and Charlotte, right? I think.
Yes.
Oh, the Mayo Bowl. It's the Mayo Bowl today.
Duke mayonnaise.
And on Mint Street in Charlotte. Go ahead. E, you had anything else before we go?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you, E. Ryan D'Souza.
Yes.
What you got for us before we leave?
Yes, man. Saturday morning. This was pretty cool, man. Got my, like I said, man. Apologies for the nerd look. I got my Urkel going on, but it's all good. Man, it was this was cool on a Saturday. I actually felt like fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So felt like wide awake. You know, I'm already high energy anyway. So this was cool, man.
I'm glad you stated that.
Just again, man, good show. I always love talking about the WNBA and the girls, man. So awesome, man. A great sports weekend, man. Enjoy.
Gotcha. Go ahead, D-Dubs. You got the last.
Hey, yo, great show today. I've been up early. It's at 10 o'clock. I ain't gotta work. I'm good. Yo, I'm ready to rock and roll. Yo, Yo, they put. Sorry, Ryan, man. They put Nebraska and Colorado on Peacock. I'm just looking at this.
No way it's on freaking Peacock, dog.
No, this shit is on Peacock. I'm looking. I'm like, oh snap! Yeah, they put that on Peacock. Yeah, they did, bro. They put that on Peacock.
Yo, but dog, this is where people need to start writing the networks and like.
Absolutely, Kev. This. Yeah, that's not.
Vote with your dollars. Nope. Stop doing that.
Man, listen, I'm trying to do TV. I'm trying to do the right thing here, man. I pay my cable bill. I'm trying to do the right thing. They want me to go and pirate some shit and do something.
Yo, fam, I suggest the paying public. This is what we say. Ridiculous. Vote with your dollars. If anytime, do not subscribe and get these things. Don't make them force you. I know you love your favorite team, but if this is on Peacock and I had to go, I'm not doing it. At some point, you got to put a stand down. That's just me. Yep. I would suggest people do that so they could reverse this because this stuff was on free TV.
It's horrible,
and
man.
It should be. I'm sorry,
bro. How does Sports Bar can't get the game? Seriously,
that's crazy. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
It's on Peacock, bro.
You want a Sports Bar? How does Sports Bar gonna have a game streaming on every TV? How? It's impossible. Yeah. Like what is that? Jeez, man.
And it looked like it's starting to go in the NFL because everything has changed to
dog. They don't put
YouTube TV now. So you gotta get
it's ticket on YouTube TV.
TV.
And that shit ain't cheap.
No, I just cut them off. I just cut them off 2 weeks ago. So I'm not messing with them. Yeah, that shit ain't cheap either, Ron. Because by the time if you get a basic package, that was like $78, right? Correct. Then you add on football or whatever else. Nah, y'all gonna stop this, man. Y'all gonna stop getting in my pockets.
That's what I'm saying. By the time you pay for everything that you want to freaking watch, you already paid.
You back up to a $400 bill of subscriptions. Not doing it.
Not to mention the damn expensive ass internet you got to pay for.
That's why I got the telescope. I just look at my neighbor's crib, what they watch.
Man, shit, I wish I had that.
On behalf of myself.
Enjoy that college football today, yo. Peace.
Yo, man, enjoy college football, man.
Going to Lowe's. I'd rather go to Lowe's.
On behalf of myself, I'm Kevin Owen, your host of Monterey, for Daryl D. Dubs One, for Ryan D'Souza, for the DA, and James, the Angry One, and for Mike Mills and Dan K, the hockey dude in the absence. Yo, this is the Sports Chasers podcast. Y'all be good, be great. Enjoy this wonderful sports weekend, man. And yo, we'll holla at you on Monday. Peace.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Sports Chasers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms and connect with us on all social media channels for exclusive content and updates. We'd also love for you to join the conversation, share your thoughts, and become part of the Sports Chasers community. And remember to tune in next time for some more real sports talk. Until then, stay frosty.